Your business has the answers. They're just trapped behind dashboards, ticket queues, and 2-day waits. What you're looking at is NovaMart's data, a U.S. retail chain, 30 stores, 20,000 customers, 500,000 orders across 33 tables. Sarah Chen, VP of Retail Analytics, has a board meeting in 2 hours. Her data team has a 2-day backlog. Every urgent question means a new ticket and a new wait. The database is connected. Tables are in scope. In seconds, Cayra maps the entire structure, every column, every relationship, every dependency. Now the AI enrichment begins. Cayra doesn't just connect to your database, it studies it. It builds a deep understanding of your business context automatically before the first question is even asked. Most AI tools answer questions by guessing. They look at your data from the outside and fill the gaps with assumptions. Cayra works differently. Before you type a single question, it learns your data from the inside, what each piece means, how it connects, what matters to your business. This happens once, automatically, and it's what makes every answer reliable, not just fast, actually right. 32 tables enhanced, 46 relationships mapped. She's ready. Sarah has 5 questions. She types the first one. Give me a quick snapshot. How did we do in April 2026 compared to April 2025? No ticket, no wait, no developer in the loop. Sarah didn't open a dashboard or send a message to anyone. She just asked, and Cayra is already on it. Watch what happens next. On the right, Cayra's reasoning panel opens. You can see it thinking, breaking the question into steps, pulling the right data, and assembling an answer in real time. April 2026, 3,800 orders, $810,000 in revenue. April 2025, 4,300 orders, $653,000. Revenue is up 24% year over year, despite fewer orders. Average order value jumped 51%, from $152 to $229. Returns dropped 20%. 0 discounts in April 2026. Second question. Which of our stores are losing money? Show net profit after rent, payroll, and operating costs. This one pulls from 3 different parts of the business at once: orders, stores, and store expenses. Cayra connects the dots in under 30 seconds. Most tools just run a query and hand you a number. Cayra works differently. It breaks the question into pieces, finds the right data sources, and builds the answer step by step. A ranked profit and loss table. All 30 stores. Most are healthy. 2 stores are flagged. LA downtown is barely breaking even. Rent alone eats 71% of revenue. Midtown Manhattan sits at 3.3% margin, 1 slow quarter away from red. Not a static report. A live diagnostics built from scratch, in real time. Sarah didn't wait for the monthly close. She didn't file a ticket or schedule a meeting with the data team. She just asked. This data existed in the system all along. Every company has it. Most just can't get to it fast enough to do anything about it. Third question. Are we on track to hit $15 million in total revenue by end of 2026? This is the hardest kind of question, one that requires thinking across time. Most tools can't even attempt it. Cayra doesn't take a shortcut. It runs 7 separate passes through your data, spanning multiple years and multiple dimensions. Monthly actuals for 2025 and 2026. Revenue history going back 5 years. Store-level targets. Seasonal patterns. How much did November spike last year? How about the year before? Cayra is not guessing. It is reading your actual data, pattern by pattern, year by year. Then it cross-references all of it, weighs the scenarios, and builds a projection from the ground up. No spreadsheet, no analyst, just a question and an answer built on years of your own data. Year to date through April, 2.6 million. Year-over-year growth, 10%. Best case scenario, riding the seasonal curve, 13.5 million. Conservative flat rate projection, 8.6 million. To hit 15 million, they would need to average 1.6 million per month for the remaining 7 months. The assumptions are listed: current product mix, no new store additions, seasonal pattern consistent with prior years. Sarah can share this. She can defend it. Every number is traceable. Fourth question: how many customers are at risk of churning? What's their combined lifetime value? The moment Sarah hits send, something different happens. Cayra doesn't look up a pre-written answer. It thinks like an analyst would, but in seconds. It reads the question, understands the intent, plans its own approach, which data to pull, how to combine it, what to validate. Then it executes, step by step, checks its own work, and writes back a clear answer with key takeaways and follow-up questions Sarah might not have thought to ask. Every step of that thinking is visible in the panel on the right. You're not watching a loading spinner, you're watching AI think in real time. This is what the Agentic era actually looks like. High-risk and medium-risk customers combined, 11,724 people. Combined lifetime value, $35.7 million. Breaking it down further, 1,914 customers classified as at risk. Last purchase averaging 15 months ago. 893 loyal customers and champions are also drifting toward medium risk status. $35 million, not lost yet, but quietly slipping away, one missed re-engagement at a time. Fifth question: which products are growing in demand but we're consistently understocking? Where are we leaving money on the table? This question would normally sit in a backlog for days because no single person owns the answer. Sales data lives in one system, inventory in another, supplier history somewhere else. Someone has to pull all three, align them, and figure out which products are both growing and running short at the same time. That work spans multiple meetings, multiple tools, and multiple people. Cayra handles all of it in a single pass. It compares the last 8 weeks of sales against the 8 weeks before that for every product across all 30 stores. Then it checks live inventory against reorder points and pulls supplier delivery performance to separate a store problem from a supply chain problem, because those two require very different actions. One is operations, the other is procurement. Cayra tells you which is which before you waste time solving the wrong problem. This is only possible because Cayra doesn't treat your data as separate silos: sales, inventory, supplier history. It pulls them together, reasons across all of them at once, and surfaces the kind of answer that used to require a cross-functional team and a week of back and forth. What comes next isn't a summary. It's a breakdown by product, by store, by root cause, ready to act on. 7 products, 17 store locations, $25,000 in estimated annual lost revenue, 3 different root causes. The HP Spectre X360, demand up 33%, understocked in 4 stores because the reorder never triggered. The iPad Air supplier fill rate at 84%, not keeping up. The Galaxy S25, sold out before it even arrives in Brooklyn and Portland. One problem with the store, one with the supplier, one with forecasting, each one requiring a different fix. Cayra found all 7 in one pass, without a dashboard, without a report, without waiting for anyone. In 5 minutes, Sarah prepared for a board meeting that would have taken her team a full day. 5 questions, 0 technical knowledge required. Every answer came with full transparency, the thinking, the sources, and the assumptions behind it. Everything auditable, everything reproducible. Sarah nailed the board meeting, and she already knows. Next week, she'll do it again, in 5 minutes. This is what happens when AI doesn't just answer, it thinks. One question at a time, Cayra turns your database into decisions anyone can trust. Your data already has the answers. Now you have a way to ask.